When someone discovers a beautiful view hidden behind heavy clouds, it brings a jolt to their entire being. Another world behind those clouds makes a person's heart race on and on. In the variations of a natural world slowly reaching completion, all life forms draw a vibrant note. At times, it grows hot, and other times, it is cold as it creates brilliant treasures. As time goes on, the treasure trove accumulates with more riches. This is Hungary, a mystical land more beautiful than memory. Non-stop flights are not available between Incheon in Korea and Budapest. You have to fly 14 hours, which includes a transfer in Moscow. The first step in my journey to find the treasure of Hungary begins in Budapest, through which the Dona River flows. Budapest is a combination of the names Buda on the west of the Dona River and Pest on the east. This is such a beautiful place that it has been listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is also imbued with rainbow-colored memories from my childhood and teenage years. Will it be the way I remembered it? With anticipation, I have come to Quarry Flea Market. This is the biggest flea market in Eastern Europe, where you can even find things from the First and Second World Wars. However, some things are like an obscure quiz.
Villa le tennis.
Hátkaparó.
Hátkaparó ez hogy lesz? Ja, ez itt is van Magyarországon?
Igen.
Koreában is van.
Igen.
Ez tök jó, ezt nagyon szeretem.
There is no expiration date for an object that contains memories. As a matter of fact, the more it was used, the higher the price. These objects must have shared someone's life, like the gramophone, evocative of black and white movies that plays music with its quivering needle. As an actress, what captures my eye are the analog cameras that are unique in shape and style.
Figyeljetek ide!
Hang nem volt a filmen rajta, képen nem volt a hang, nyilván ez csak egy ilyen...
저 벨소리로만 띵 하면 사람들이 다 이렇게 그쪽을 보니까 너무 좋은 아이디어 같아요, 그죠? 재밌다. Ezekkel a fényképekkel...
Igen, fényképezőgépekkel.
It is said that Hungarians consider old things important because they make you imagine about the owner's personality and life.
Kicsit, és az nem kiveszőben van, hanem újra visszatérnek hozzá. Sőt, fiatalok, akik hallják a szüleiktől, vagy idősebbektől, marad mindig a fotózás.
Hungary is just the way I remember it.
오늘 헝가리 이제 여행을 시작하기에 앞서 너무 기대가 되고 특히 여기 사람들이 다 너무 정겹고 이렇게 친절하게 맞이해 주셔서 너무 다행이에요.
I discovered something interesting on my way out. This woman must have read the look of curiosity on my face because she grabs my ankle.
저 지금 여기 어떻게 묶였어요. 저 뽀로 됐어요. 이거 어떡해.
An old object makes us laugh. There is another thing that is heartwarming because it is old. They are trains. There are 3 train stations in Budapest, and I'm heading for one of them. Are they doing inspections before departure? The engineer unlocks a bolt. It is full of cinders. Next, he goes to the back of the locomotive where a small water tank is attached.
Ez a víztartályban itt az utazáshoz szükséges víz van benne, amit a gőzgéptől használ.
The friendly engineer shows me the driver's cab. Steam forms by heating the water with a full tank of coal, and that steam becomes the force that moves the train. The water must have come to a boil. The train starts moving.
진짜로 움직여요. 재밌다. 신기해요. 장난감 같아요.
This tank locomotive, which runs on a small tank of water, is for short distances only. The line takes about 1 hour to reach the final stop. Although it looks like a toy, the train car is packed.
여기 따뜻한 난로도 있어요. 기차 안에. 너무 귀엽죠? 따뜻해.
What is more amazing than the furnace is a boy in an attendant's uniform. Children signal each other at each stop. Are they actual attendants? I decide to ask the boy who is checking tickets about the train.
여기 꼬마 승무원이 검표를 하고 있는데 milyen az érzés a vonaton dolgozni?
Jó.
Jó?
Igen, szeretek.
Hány éves vagy?
13.
13? Figyelj, nem mész suliba, nem jársz?
De járok suliba, csak ilyenkor mindig elkérnek minket iskolából, és akkor úgy.
Milyen napon például? Minden nap?
Hát úgy megyek, hogy minden nap megyek iskolába, csak 15 naponta szolgálok.
Köszi, nagyon ügyi vagy.
Köszönöm, én sziasztok.
귀엽다.
Children ages 8 to 15 work on this railway. This children's railway was established in 1947, just after World War II, to increase self-reliance and a sense of independence in the children. The choo-choo sound of the train puts me in a nostalgic mood. It sounds like a magic spell that is taking me to another time and place.
어린아이들은 이게 재밌어서 좋고 어른들은 또 다시 동심으로 돌아가는 듯해서 좋고 너무 아름다운 귀여운 기차인 것 같아요. 마음에 쏙 들어요.
The view through the window is gradually changing. The slow pace gives you plenty of time to look at things that are special. The train reaches the highest point in Budapest. This lookout tower was built to commemorate Queen Elizabeth, who fought for the independence of Hungary. You can get a panoramic view of Budapest after climbing 101 steps. A familiar view of the city, where I spent 9 years of my life, unfolds before me.
지금 유럽은 굉장히 추운데요. 여기 헝가리에는 아직도 이렇게 푸르스름한 부분이 많이 남아 있고요.
While gazing at the beautiful view of Budapest, I suddenly have the urge to fly through these skies. I have come to see Sandro, who knows the most romantic way to soar through the skies of Budapest.
Azért jöttem, mert szeretnék repülni az égen.
A legjobb helyre jöttél.
Tényleg? Jaj, de jó!
However, what Sandro produces is a little balloon.
Ezzel fogsz engem felrepíteni?
Igen.
Igen?
De mindenki,
Ezzel nem tudom.
mindenki kap egy ilyet, tartja erősen, és aztán el.
Én nem vagyok olyan könnyű.
Apparently, this is an essential process prior to flying a hot air balloon in order to check the force and direction of the wind.
Hát a kontinensen átrepülünk egy pillanat alatt.
Jaj, ne!
De.
Nem, ez nem lehet, ez nagyon messze.
Majd
ugye
meglátjuk.
vicces vele.
Meglátjuk majd.
Ó, ne!
In order to make a hot air balloon rise, you need an air balloon, rattan basket, and a burner. Can you really fly such a simple machine?
이게 막상 보니까 너무 무서워요. 아니 진짜 이게 뜰 수 있는지 그리고 저를 이렇게 이 하늘로 띄울 수 있는지.
És én mennyi vagyok?
Itt olyan 60?
Na, de rendesen tippelj. 100.
100? Oké, akkor megbízom, megnyugodtam.
Now it's time to put air into the balloon. We have to fill this balloon, which is about 25 meters tall. From afar, I can hear a huge fan struggling by itself. I too offer a hand.
굉장히
Nyugi, nem engedem el.
오케이.
Jó. Szép lassan elindulunk.
The air balloon is big, but handling it is pretty simple. You simply give a little line and let it rise. Will I be able to fly in the air like the wind or like a bird?
이제 하늘로 날아가요. 그동안 감사했어요.
Once the burner heats up the air in the balloon and expands it, the balloon will fly from that force. The balloon floats up into the sky. I'm slowly getting further away from the ground.
와, 너무 신기해.
After adjusting the altitude, you simply let the wind carry you. However, there are some fellows who have found out about our quiet flight. The dogs of Budapest all start barking in unison.
지금 여기 너무 예쁘고 집들도 너무 아름다운데요. 개들이 난리 났어요. 소리 들리시죠? 난리 났어요. 이게 뭐냐고.
We succumb to the arms of the wind once more and move forward. Obliging to the wind, the hot air balloon is now heading for Dauna River.
Ott folyik, és a köd, a pára a meleg vízről, a melegebb vízről
az köd?
száll fel. Az a Duna vonala, ahol az a köd.
The dreamlike view of the misty Dauna River makes me sentimental for no apparent reason. Not much further, Sandro suddenly lowers the altitude.
금방 닿을 것 같아. 걸릴 것 같아. 이러다가.
We aren't going to land here, are we?
Miért megy ez ilyen alacsonyan?
Azért, hogy lássátok, hogy milyen jó alacsonyan jöttünk, sétálunk a fák tetején.
Tényleg.
His explanation gives me a different perspective of the view.
마치 동화 속에서 마법사들이 이런 식으로 날지 않았을까 하는 생각이 들어요. 지금 제가 동화 속에 들어와 있는 것 같아요.
Mi csináltuk a legelső magyar hőlégballont?
Tényleg?
1976-ban, amikor te még nem jöttél.
He has flown the skies for over 40 years.
Igen, gyönyörű szép sport. Kell menni egy WC-re, vagy...
Akkor baj van.
Akkor baj van?
Kell menni.
Nem azért, ne félj.
Nem, mert
Ja,
leszállunk,
el kell
ha kell.
menni.
Nem, mert akkor le tudunk
Vicc volt.
szállni. Hát mondjuk a házak között vagyunk, akkor meg kicsit bonyolult.
It's a pity, but it's time to get back on the ground. The anxiety that I felt when ascending into the air is long gone. As if waking up from a dream, I emerged back out of the wind.
저 자신한테 좋은 선물을 준 것 같고 너무 감사하고 정말 최고였어요. 뭐 더 이상 말이 필요 없어요.
Every time the wind blows, I think it will bring to mind the view of Budapest that I saw from the sky. Back on the ground, I make way to Budapest's Underground.
여기 도심 가운데 동굴이 있다고 하는데 진짜 있네요.
There is a passageway that leads into an underground world in Budapest.
Itt ez a barlangrendszer, a Távvölgyi barlang, de mi ennek a sarkába megyünk az úgynevezett Mátyás-hegyi barlangba. Bár az egész egy rendszer most már, hiszen összekötöttük a sok különálló barlangot.
그런 게 있다는 게 진짜 너무 신기하지 않아요? 땅 밑에 땅 밑 또 세 개가 하나 있는 것 같아요.
However, the sky has already grown dark. Night falls early in Hungary, which is located at a higher latitude than Korea.
지금 오후 4시 반밖에 안 됐는데요. 벌써 이렇게 어두워졌어요. 동굴로 가고 있는데 지금 벌써 밤 같아요.
My sight has adjusted to the darkness, so this will be helpful in the cave.
지금 너무 떨리고요. 와, 진짜 이렇게 쉽다고 했는데 별로 쉬워 보이진 않는데 괜찮겠죠? 별로 위험하지도 않겠죠? 어?
The entrance is very nice now. You can see here's easy way. Inside, of course, you will find some smaller nudges like simple. But inside, this is a labyrinth, so please just do the
As soon as his explanation ends, the guide gives us a demonstration. One after another, we squeeze through the opening that we never thought would be an entrance. Crouching low, I also enter through the bumpy hole.
와, 다 더러워졌는데요?
The passage that barely allows one person to pass then leads to an oblique crevice. The guide shows us how to pass by. This time, it's a bit hard to copy his lead. It's impossible for a beginner to determine where the exit of this labyrinth in the cave is. You have to keep your head on straight and cooperate with your group.
점점 동굴이 좁아지고 있어서 좀 힘들긴 한데요. 굉장히 신비로운 느낌이 들어요. 재밌어요.
diamonds. Yeah, we are very rich people. We have lots of diamonds.
I'm wondering what he means when I find some stones inside that look like diamonds.
Holes in the rocks, and the hot springs came and left the crystals. If you are lazy to climb up, also you'll find here on this line there are lots of crystals everywhere.
Long ago, thermal water seeped in and cultivated crystals. You can also find some clam fossils. They no longer form since the water has disappeared. The empty cave makes loud echoes. He says that you can get a better feel of the echoing if you sing. But it turns out that there's another reason for a song. Marianne celebrates her 21st birthday in the cave.
It was not how I thought
thought I would be spending. It's good, it's really cool.
Which was the most weird place?
Happy birthday! Thank you.
어려운 길을 이렇게 같이 내려오고 다니다 보니까 금세 친해진 것 같아요. Friend.
It has only been an hour since we've met, but we feel a strong bond with one another. As if to test us, the trail gets a little more difficult.
We will go down at the point where they are down there. It's 55-meter underground from the entrance.
We have to pass through a little hole where the landing isn't visible. The trick is to move your body to fit the shape of the cave. Now it's my turn.
That's it. It's a bit wedgy.
Even with words of encouragement, I have trouble taking my next step.
점점 지구의 그 심장 중앙으로 들어가는 것 같아요. 끝이 없어요, 깊이가.
The reason we are able to explore this limestone cave is because the water, which once filled the cave, has disappeared elsewhere.
When this story happened, these tunnels were underwater. Now this is dry because these technical works are still working slowly, fortunately, so we haven't got big earthquakes at the area. But the rocks were lifted with the caves higher and higher. The springs of the thermal waters went deeper, today lying the springs under the city. That's why we have the Turkish spas in the city, the thermal baths. And that's why you can find one of the world's longest active thermal cave under Budapest.
Perhaps the water that once filled this cave is now making a new cave, because the underground world of Budapest is growing to this day. We have now reached 55 meters underground. This is the most difficult part of the expedition.
진짜 가도가 끝이 없고요. 아니 점점 더 좁아지는 것 같아요. 저기는 저 못 들어갈 것 같아요. 진짜 중간에 끼일 것 같아요.
Hátra, jó? Oké. Jobb kezedet nyújtsd fel, és a fejedet fordítsd oldalra.
Így?
Így. Oldalra törd, fordítsd el. Nem.
Így. Oké.
Ezt tedd fel, ezt a kezed. Elég csak az egyiket.
Megyek?
Jó, menjél.
The crack is so narrow that the rock grazes my cheek.
Oh my God.
I turn this way and that, like when trying to get into a tricky parking space. I think I'm just about to make it through when he grabs my feet from the other side.
나 나가기만 해봐.
Still, my heart fills with a sense of achievement after I accomplish this difficult task.
너무 재밌었어요. 이런 경험 언제 다시 해보겠어요. 진짜 최고. 이런 동굴은 진짜 태어나서 처음 탐험해봐요.
The 2-hour cave trek has come to an end.
살아서 나왔다. 막 힘들 줄 알았는데 막 새 힘이 새 에너지가 막 나오는 것 같아요. 어떻게 한 번 더?
I am now back on the surface of Budapest. The old city in the dark has a hushed look. However, for me, having seen both the sky and underground of the city, I feel as if its hidden treasures are whispering at me. It's difficult to imagine from the outside. Budapest hides over 170 caves under the ground. Most were made naturally, but some are man-made. Today, I'm going to explore one of them.
Nagyon kevesen tudják, hogy van egy ilyen titkos járat Budapest alatt. A búvárkodás előtt ugye, mind a neve is mutatja, követ bányáztak, a kőbánya után maradt itt ez a pincerendszer. A pincerendszert használták a szőlősgazdák, aztán itt volt a...
In the quarry where they used to mine limestone is a cave I'm heading for. We have to travel by car to reach our destination. The car travels for quite a while even after entering a tunnel. The temperature is consistent in here regardless of season. In the summer, Hungarians get together and have bicycle races here to get away from the heat faster.
A pillérje. Igen, a halászbástya, a Andrássy út számos palotája, egyetemi könyvtár, de még a kecskeméti református templomhoz is innen vitték a követ.
아니 근데 이렇게 만지기엔 굉장히 부드러운데 이걸로 어떻게 그 튼튼하고 그 몇백 년 된 그 오래된 그 튼튼한 건물들과 그 다리를 만들었는지 상상이 안 되네요. 정말 신기한 것 같아요.
The stone quarry is 32 kilometers in length and 35 meters in depth. It was mined in the shape of a comb, shifting directions to prevent collapse. It has been used for various purposes after mining was completed, and most have been water-related.
Furtak le kutakat, és akkor a sörgyártáshoz az a jó, hogyha jó minőségű víz van. És ezen a csöveken keresztül szállították a vizet. Utána a sörgyártás megszűnt, ugye megszűnt a víz szivattyúzása, ezeket a mélyen fekvő területeket elöntötte a víz.
The Budapest Underground is full of high-quality subterranean water. The temperature is about 12 degrees.
진짜 따뜻하네요.
Van egy csodálatos víz alatti világ.
Tényleg?
Akarsz velem jönni?
Én?
Igen.
Hát hogy lehet innen? Hát itt víz van, hogy menjek innen, hogy ruhában vagyok.
Nem. Meglátod, jó lesz.
Apparently, the cave that I was looking for is underwater.
가볼 수 있는 데까지는 한번 가보고 싶어.
They tell me that exploring this cave is a dream for scuba divers, and I have been given the opportunity. However, it requires a lot of courage for someone like me who has only experienced indoor swimming pools.
내가 물이 근데 생각보다 들어오니까 이제 차가워지는 것 같기도 하고 너무 무섭고.
A few steps in, I see the opening to the underwater cave.
잠수하는 거라고 끝이 안 보여요. 굉장히 깊어요.
Itt volt egy akna régebben, csak miután megszűnt a vízkivétel, a víz a kutakból az magától jön fölfele, és ezért a talajvíz emelkedik.
The water is so clear that you can see into the depths. However, only few people are allowed to enter inside. It's dangerous because buoyancy is harder to control in fresh water than oceans, and the field of vision is narrower. I'll be leaving the exploring to the diving experts. I can see a cart that was used and pieces of limestone that was mined. Beautiful staircase decorations, which are sure to have offered pleasant views as people climbed up and down those stairs, are now all rusted. We're going deeper inside. This must have been the last place to be mined. There are markings left on one wall to record this. Watching the live footage that the diver is filming, I get the impression that I'm in the underwater cave too. Of course, there are no living creatures in this enclosed cave. It's very rare for someone to enter the way we have today. The sudden visit made by a breathing being creates strange pictures in the underwater cave. The divers make air bubbles as they exhale and move about in a confused jumble.
공기들이 지금 막혀가지고 나갈 길을 찾고 있는 거예요. 그러니까 사람한테서 나오는 이 공기가 이렇게 나갈 길을 못 찾고 있어서 막 모이고 막 빨리빨리 분주하게 움직이다가 너무 재밌다.
There is no way out except the way they entered. The air bubbles follow the diver from which it came and return to the surface with them. The exploration has safely come to an end. What treasures do they find underwater?
Csodálatos.
Csodálatos volt. Tetszett neki?
Csodálatos. Nagyon. Annyira szép volt minden.
The limestone in the underwater cave is what made Budapest so beautiful. I get an urge to take a slow look around the city that was made with these stones.
여기 버스가 있어요. 너무 귀엽게 생겼죠?
I have chosen to take a unique-looking city tour bus. This route tours through famous sites of Budapest, such as Congress Center, Hero Square, and the Palace. They operate buses like this because 10 times the population visit the city each year. The moment limestone meets air, it solidifies and becomes firm enough to last hundreds of years. Thanks to this, we can enjoy such lovely views.
제가 시간 여행을 하고 있는 듯한 느낌이 들어요. 워낙 건물들이 오래된 건물도 많고 그런 분위기를 풍겨서 시간 여행하고 있는 것 같아요.
You can also travel through space on this bus.
The Danube Bank, so now it's coming the most exciting moment of the tour, the splashing. Life vest as well. While we are driving,
Our next destination is the Dauna River. The bus goes straight into the river. In an instant, the bus turns into a boat.
Ukraine.
The Budapest that I saw in my youth was full of overwhelming beauty. Life in Budapest still goes on, but now that I have discovered the stories behind the beauty, do I get a deeper understanding of the city. Budapest, with the Dauna River spread before me, is densely set with countless hidden jewels. Those jewels sparkle at times in the mist, at times in the sky, at times deep underground, and tell us the stories they have been hiding all this while.